If I said
There's
to
still
you,
cannibals on this earth, though. So, like, I
Garuda,
don't know what you. It's not a
Garuda,
hypothetical. You just
right, I
misinformed.
forgot that you can't track, and it's painful. What?
No, because I don't think eating grapes is bad or evil.
That's not
Or is it- I don't think. I
Garuda.
don't,
Wait, Garuda, want to debate or run? You're asking me if I'm gonna run? Garuda, I've been asking you to debate me for how long?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. I want to put my phone. Can you give me a second because I need to put my phone outside of speakerphone to like direct phone access.
That's fine.
So can you give me a second to figure it out?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. It's not that.
Thank you, Pepto.
Mm. Oh, I think no, I don't think I can figure it out. So I'll be by speakerphone. So I'm gonna cover my mouth and talk to it directly. So just let me know when the audio is going bad.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
One thing I never thought I would be in love with a lesbian woman. Not to say that I want to like take you as like a woman, but I never know how cool you was, and I always love talking to you.
Thank
So
you,
this is what I
thank
want.
you, thank you, Garuda.
Hmm.
Okay, well, that aside, we are going to, like, you've just made a claim as well. Like, you've got two propositions here, but they're two topics, right? But I don't really know what to do with them, to be honest. But we can try and go through them. But you've said how animal sanctuaries is a waste of human resources. Then you
I
said,
explained to you, yes.
yeah, and then you said the last on that is the oldest people to live on Earth are mostly meat eaters and a few vegetarians, not a single vegan. So with the last one, therefore what? What do you mean?
Okay, so that means the oldest people to live between the ages of 114 to 126, which is like the oldest person that we know actually that we recorded in modern human time. We were meat eaters mostly, and then a few vegetarians, but they didn't live as long as meat eaters. And there was a single vegan. It's clear
Therefore,
and simple what it is.
therefore
Hmm?
what? Therefore what?
Therefore, the fuck is that?
Huh?
Hold on, let me close all these apps.
He's gone. What is the link? It's in your email, dear. I've put it in your email. It's the same one still. So where you went to come in last time, you just come in again with the same link.
So let me. Oh, I think the problem is I didn't close the application, so I was like kind of like echoing. So let me close this application so I could talk to you directly
Oh,
because.
okay.
Okay, so I think that was the way I got kicked out.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely didn't. Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Okay, so yeah, so what do you want? I forgot what I was saying before, but I'm just basically saying the first proposition of the debate I want to have with you because you're extremely smart and you're one of the most loveliest person I ever talked to you. So I'm not trying to like butter you up so I could like make some lasagna out of you. But however, though, I do need explanation for vegans because when it comes to animal sanctuaries, there's so many human beings on Earth that actually are starving and suffering from that. And vegans say like, "Oh yeah, if we all go vegan, we could help homeless people," but it's not the truth. Meat eaters are the
Wait,
one.
hang on. Sorry, Garuda. We'll just go with the first thing first before we go down the famine route, okay?
Okay, for
So
sure.
yeah, we were talking about. You said, oh, the oldest living people weren't vegan, okay? Therefore, what? What am I supposed to take from that? Sorry.
Okay, so they say like in order for me to survive the longest, vegans believe in survival. You need to eat meat for survival. So then it means that I could eat meat to survive the longest.
Well, so
That's what it
this
means.
person I'm looking at, the Jane Kalman, right? She gave up smoking at 120 years old. So am I to think that in order to live a really long time, I should smoke?
No. Tell me her diet though, and we could talk about smoking because all you just saying is like you could eat meat and smoke and you could live to 120
No, so
something that you
what?
just said.
No, so I'll tell you why I'm asking that. Because you can't just extract from like a behavior that somebody has, or because they lived a long time, this thing that they were doing was good and led to a long lifespan. What we have to do is refer to the data and look at health outcomes of a specific isolated thing. So like smoking, or like a dietary thing like flesh, or, you know, like a plant-based diet. So do you have any data that would show that, oh, you need flesh in order to have a long, extended lifespan?
Yes.
Yes, so can you send it to me right now, please?
I cannot send you on here. Okay, let me share. It's a little bit difficult to me, but I could tell you the website. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can pull it on. I think I could pull it on my phone, but I don't know how to send you here on email.
You can send it on the chat in here. There's a little comment box.
Let me see real quick.
Yeah.
If I could do it. How do I send it? Do I click the three little things and then in call messages?
There's like the message thing, or chat with everyone, comment box.
Okay, so what especially do you need? Because I'm not gonna waste your time.
I need the data that demonstrates that you need flesh in order to have a long lifespan.
Okay, so I'll go directly off of Peter's website. So give me 1 second. I'll go off of Peter's website.
Sorry, Peter's website. That's I'm looking for like scientific literature. So there's gonna be like an article.
Peter lied.
Sorry, Peter. The people for the
no, I could run through you this, but you have to look at it because you don't want to do your own research. All you want to do is just like go. I could tell you the website.
Garuda, no, it's not about me not wanting to do my own research. You're making a claim that you need flesh in order to have an extended lifespan. So the burden of proof is then on you. If I came up to you and I said, "Oh, I need to eat the flesh of 300 human babies," and yeah, it is true, but you want me to show you? Oh, well, because you don't want to do your own research, I'll have to go get it for you. You'd be like, "What the hell?" Like you're the one who made the.
I'll tell you. No. What I'll tell you is misinformation, because when human beings eat other human beings, they have poison.
Garuda, hang on.
You're wrong.
Garuda. It was a hypothetical example. I was just showing you as a comparison. If I said
there's
to
still you, cannibals on this earth, though. So Garuda, I don't know what you. It's not a hypothetical.
I forgot that you can't track, and it's painful. Do you know why I said that to you?
Because you want to like catfish me and say like, "Ooh, debunked," but when I try and tell you the truth because I love you. Just like a lot of other human beings.
Garuda.
I'm trying to save you, my lady.
Yeah, well, you need to do better than this, really, then, don't you? Because what I'm saying to you is the burden of proof is on you to demonstrate. It's not me refusing to do my own research or anything like that. I want to see the research that you've read that has led you to this view.
So what's the actual question, though? Because it seems like you don't even want to research it.
The question is, as it was 2 times ago, can you send me the data that demonstrates that you need the flesh of animals to have an extended lifespan?
Okay, yeah, I could give you something right now, but you have to like give me some time because I cannot do it on my phone.
That is fine.
But I'll do it really quick though because I'm a professional about this. Okay, so oldest people to live recorded. Oldest people.
Oh wait, I'm getting a bit nervous because I'm looking for the scientific literature that demonstrates that you require the flesh of other animals in order to have an extended lifespan. What you're looking up is just the oldest recorded people.
Yes, and the oldest people has never been a vegan, so that's actual facts.
Yeah, but the oldest recorded people were also smokers. So does smoking entail extended life expectancy?
Yeah, but so I could eat meat and I could smoke cigarettes or cigars or puff cigars because inhale cigars, but I could live longer than the vegan though. It's like, what do you need other than proof?
You could, just like a smoker could live longer than a
Garuda,
just listen to me, okay? Right. Do you think smoking's bad for you?
It depends on what you smoke.
Do you think cigarette smoke is bad for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's a proven fact.
Is it true that some smokers who smoke cigarettes have lived longer than non-smokers?
I haven't seen any evidence of that, so I don't know.
So you don't know any smoker who has lived longer than a non-smoker?
Nope.
Well, that's really weird because the longest recorded living person was a smoker, and she outlived everyone.
Was she smoking cigars or was she puffing and inhaling? Because there's a difference between inhaling and just like trying to like.
Garuda,
Yeah,
I don't know if you're just dishonestly dodging right now, or if you just are unable to track
I'm not
what
dishonestly dodging. Was she smoking cigars or cigarettes? Was she smoking cigars or cigarettes?
Are you really going to say right now that so okay, let's just do this. Have there been people who weren't smokers who have died at about 40 suddenly, unexpectedly?
Yes, because they
Yes,
probably eat too much
okay.
processed
Have
food.
there been
Yeah.
smokers who have lived to 80 years old?
I haven't had it recorded, but I believe it's true. But I don't know if it's necessarily true, so I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so yes, there have been people who have smoked who have lived over 80 years old. So you do know
But
that
it boils down to what they're smoking, though. If they're
Garuda,
smoking
that
like
doesn't matter.
Rockford
Cigarettes,
cigarettes.
yes, cigarette smokes. Cigarette smoke.
Okay, well then, yeah, no one usually who smokes cigarettes like a pack a day smoker will live that long. People who smoke cigarettes die young, and they have at least until 60s.
So
Just like
you're
how
saying
people
anyone
are
who smokes,
alcoholics, like might live.
right, so you're saying right now, anyone who smokes cigarettes, they just drop dead at 60 years old. They don't live any longer.
Never said that. Never said that.
Okay, so can you just tell me, is that the case? They just die at 60?
I already said I don't know. It depends on what they're smoking. Because it could be like a tobacco, it could be tobacco in a can that gets you
oh my fucking God. Garuda. If you want to have this conversation, I need you to be at 100% being honest with me. All right, and I don't think
Ask the question and be as honest as I possibly can.
Okay. Do you believe that there are people who were smoking cigarettes throughout their life who have lived to be like 80 years old? Yes or no? Just simple.
I would say yes.
Yes. Do you believe that there are non-smokers who have died at 40, around 40 years old?
Depending on the event, I would say yes.
Yes. Okay. So they have. All right. So because there have been smokers who have lived longer than non-smokers, does that mean that smoking cigarettes is good for you and will lead to extended life expectancy?
I said it depends on what kind of
Garuda, no.
No,
Stop.
okay, so I disagree with you. Because
Garuda,
you don't let me explain it to you.
We're not. No. We are just talking
about.
Garuda,
Ask the question again, so I can give you a singular question because this is what you want me to answer. So give me the singular question again, so I'll just say yes or no. Because you clearly don't want me to explain. So
no,
say yes
I
or
want
no.
you to explain, but I want you to actually listen to the fucking words that are coming out of my mouth. Okay?
I will always listen to everything that comes out my
really?
lady.
It's really. I'm getting that impression. Okay, right. Stop. Okay. Now listen carefully. Right. Okay. Do you believe that there are people who have been cigarette smoking throughout their lifetime who have lived to about 80 years old? Yes or no?
I don't know, but I will say maybe. But I
Right,
would
you know what?
say yes. I would probably say yes.
You'll say yes. Okay, thank you.
I would probably say yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you believe
I don't know, but I'll say yes.
Do you believe that there are people who have been non-smokers who have died at about 40 years old?
Yes.
Thank you. So, because there are people who have lived longer than non-smokers who have done cigarette smoking throughout their life, does that mean that cigarette smoking leads to extended life expectancy?
I would never recommend cigarettes.
I'm not asking you.
I'm not. Though, so I would say no.
Thank you. So just because there's something that somebody does and they live to a certain age and they live longer than others, that doesn't tell you that that thing is even good for you, let alone, that's something that will lead to extended life expectancy. You cannot do that. So what you do is you look at the data, the scientific literature that I'm looking for, and this is why I'm telling you, looking up the oldest living people and just looking at what they did and say, oh yeah, we have to do that to live long, will not help your case. So can you show me the scientific literature displaying that we need the flesh of animals in order to have an extended life expectancy?
You see, I should have actually like pull up the whole like list of people's name, but we could go right now with a person's
Garuda,
name. If you have your
Garuda.
computer, no, you have a computer, right? You have your computer, right? I'm gonna do you right now, and I'm gonna explain to you. Okay, so her name is
Garuda, no, no,
G
no, no,
G.
no, 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 no.
I'll
What?
spell her name
Can
Jeanne
Calment?
Lewis Clement. Hmm?
Jean Calment.
Yes.
Yes. Again, what did I just say to you, Garuda?
Okay, so okay, you see, I was trying to explain to you that you need to consume at least animal products to live the longest. But the thing is the proven fact that I was trying to explain to you that vegans pretend, especially PETA, that they live the longest when it's not actually a fact based off not a hypothetical. Because you what you're talking about is a hypothetical because you're talking about smoking cigarettes. Cigarettes is not a dietary choice.
It doesn't.
Everyone knows that you need to
Garuda,
get like some kind of exercise.
Garuda,
Can I speak
Garuda.
though? I let you speak.
It
I let you
doesn't.
speak.
No, 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 no. Because I've already gone through this. None of this is relevant at all. Right. Let
Okay,
me
well
just.
let
Right.
me
Let
ask you
me
a
just
question.
ask you. Have
My
you?
darling, let me ask you a question.
No,
My
no, no.
darling, let
Just
me ask you
before,
a question.
then you can ask. Then you can ask a question. I just want this answer, just so I know. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any scientific literature, any like paper, like scientific paper, demonstrating that, oh yeah, we need flesh for an extended life expectancy? Do you have that? Yes or no?
I have hardcore evidence that in order to live the longest, you need to consume animal flesh
Right.
or consume animal products.
Is
Is a
that
proven fact.
a scientific paper?
No, it's not. It's not
No,
a
no, no.
scientific
Okay, all
paper.
right. Okay,
It's
it's
not a
just
biology. It's a proven fact. It's an actual fact. There's no vegan has lived longer than any meat eater or especially a vegetarian.
Garuda,
Even
I've
though meat
just
eaters live
explained to
longer.
you, have I not just explained to you why we can't just refer to the oldest living people, look at what they did, and go, yeah, we'll replicate that so we'll live as long as them? Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't compute because
Oh,
you
yeah, it's
just
not computing, is
talking.
it?
No,
No.
no,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't compute because I
Yeah.
consider you one of the most beautiful and smartest person ever. But you
I
just don't understand how what computing means, though. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much vegans want to talk about peer review studies, is a proven fact that the longest living people to live who survive the longest, which is survival, is meat eaters and some vegetarians. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. In order to survive for the longest, you cannot be a vegan because there's zero vegans who has lived past the age of 114. So I want to ask you a question because you are so hardcore in veganism. Who is the oldest vegan to ever live?
I don't know, and I don't know how that's relevant because again, this Jean Kelman, she smoked. So is smoking good for you?
I said no a long time ago.
No, exactly. So we're stopping with this
Is she
conversation
a
now.
vegan now? Is she a vegan?
No, and she also
Okay,
smoked.
thank you. So basically, what you just said to me right now, you admitted is like it's better to eat meat and smoke cigarettes or tobacco, not the characteristics processed
Oh my
cigarettes,
god.
but like tobacco.
Oh my
Because
god.
basically, okay, so tell me who's the oldest living vegan though, if you want to say, oh my goodness, because isn't veganism about
What
survival?
does Garuda? We're going to move on to the next point because I literally I cannot tell you how the lack of tracking on your part. It's filling me with complete confusion that you're not getting this. She engaged in behaviors, right? I'm going to finally say this, and we're going to move on to the next thing, okay? And hopefully we can come to a better conclusion with the next thing, okay? She
Always
engaged
and
in
forever.
she engaged in behaviors that we know to be unhealthful, bad things that lead to lower life expectancy, such as smoking, okay? However, she ended up being the longest living human. So that tells us, oh, just because she lived the longest, it doesn't mean that all the behavior she engaged in was extending her life expectancy. We know that. So we
Okay,
can't just
okay,
say, oh, well,
I'll
it's
agree
because
with
she
you on
ate
this.
meat.
I'll agree with you on that though. I agree with you on that though, but the thing is that just because somebody smokes cigarettes doesn't mean their life expectancy because there's people who are like alcoholics and they eat meat that survive the longest, but there's no vegan who can actually come close to somebody who smokes cigarettes, eat meat, and just like are alcoholics. It's a proven fact that saturated fat makes the human body
Yeah,
live longer because there's
I
because you
wouldn't
can,
throw around factual health claims because I just know you're not going to send me the data to demonstrate that. So let's just not do that. Let's just
okay. Let
move
me
on.
give you another person name.
We're going to move on to the next thing, Garuda. Okay, because
All
we're not
right.
making
Thank you.
headway here. Okay, so
By the
you
way, I
said
love you too. I haven't spoken to you in a long time.
yeah. So that you said the world would be in famine if we went vegan. So what do you mean by that?
No, no, I didn't. No, okay. When I email you, did I say that about fandom, or
No,
did I
but
say like
you said it in my chat, and that's why I said come and debate me about that.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So basically, hmm
So
so
you're
basically,
yeah.
do you want me to explain to you
Yes,
like
please.
vaguely so you could like debate? Because I don't want to like override you.
No,
I
no, no,
want to have
please.
like a
Yeah,
debate,
just
but
explain
okay.
how being vegan would lead to world famine.
Because without manure and without processes of animals who are like grazing, without manure, basically we won't have famine because you're gonna basically destroy the soil, and no matter how much you want to till it, it's gonna turn to a desert land, and that's gonna what cause world famine.
So you believe that the only fertilizer.
You need animals to poop on the ground and poop on the ground and water to regenerate the ground. So there's a lot of insects and
So
a lot of worms and like moles and like there's a lot of insects that live in the ground like crickets and stuff like that.
yep.
That's how you regenerate the land. But vegans want to destroy the soil because pesticides, they only have to drop pesticides because they have to protect the crops that they have. And it's definitely poisonous. And there's not
There's a
only
lot. Hang
killing
on, hang on.
insects.
There's a lot going on because you
Sorry,
said
sorry,
vegans.
I went too long.
Yeah, yeah,
I
no, no, no.
apologize.
You've made a few claims here. So vegans want to destroy the soil. So you're telling me I have a desire to destroy the soil, do I?
Not, I'm not necessarily talking about you because I'm
I'm a
talking about
vegan.
like the whole process. No, no, no. So me be more specific is the process of veganism because without fertilizer and without horse manure, you're basically gonna have like topsoil decay
Wait,
and basically like you can only have, no,
horse
you can
manure.
only have certain amount of places where people could do veganic farming until it's gonna be famine because there's gonna be nothing to and all the moles the lizards, the bees, and all these other animals like I think I forgot what one is it. Oh, worms is gonna die off. So it's gonna be nothing more than famine. And vegans want to pretend like the vegan farming will work. Vegan farming will work only in a small community, but it will never work worldwide.
Okay.
That's why I say it's famine.
Do you have data to demonstrate that it would only work on small scale and not large scale?
Say that again. I don't understand what
Do
you just
you
said.
have data that goes through how this would only work on small scale and not large scale?
Uh, any research on like topsoil and tilling.
Yeah,
And also
do you
too,
want to
you can look up regenerative farming.
Oh my
You
god.
can look up yeah,
Yeah, right.
you
Okay.
can look up.
So you're saying so synthetic fertilizer that doesn't include horse manure doesn't exist, you're saying?
I never said that.
Well, you're saying we need the manure. Without manure, it'll go we can't make food and there'll be famine. That's what you
No,
said.
I'm not saying that though. However, though, I'm glad you're bringing that point because manure is one of the greatest uh, uh, I think it is there economies. I don't know if you use the word economies. No, not economies. One of the biggest research that we have to actually make GMO, sorry, not like GMO fruits or GMO vegetables is basically like organic. So I support GMO. Sorry, not the GMO, not the GMO. I support
Organic.
actual manure because it has the best food that is actually more so natural than GMO from a lab.
Right, that's another claim. Do you have evidence for that?
What?
You're
Well,
saying it's so much better, so there's going to be literature on that, right, demonstrating how much better that is than the alternative, right?
oh, no, no, no. I never said that. But my daughter, are you gonna spend the whole time asking for evidence, or are you gonna
Yes,
actually talk to me like I know
because
what
if
I'm
you're
talking about?
making claims, then yes, I want the evidence. Why
I
should I?
never made a claim.
You've made multiple claims. You know, when you make
I
a
never made
state,
a claim. The burden of truth is on you. You're the one defending veganism and think that veganism will save the world.
honey,
I'm trying to tell you.
honey, dear, darling, sweetie pie, whatever you say to me, right? You said my debate proposition. You've made the proposition, so the burden of proof is on you.
No, but that's not the. But you see my email, right?
Yeah,
What I
and
say
it
in
begins
there.
with my debate propositions, yours. So the burden of proof is on you.
Okay, so what is the actual debate proposition? Because I'll eat crow, and so you could read the email with the debate proposition,
Yeah, you said,
just so I can come through
oh,
and call you a hypocrite.
huh?
If you want to do that, though.
What?
Hmm?
What did you say?
No, no, no. Okay, so what was the question that you asked me? Because you told me to go in there, but I sent you the debate proposition on the email, though,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I'll eat crow about your question and just say it again to me, and I'll answer as honestly as possible, and then I'll eat crow. And then the email I send you is about how the second one I had.
Yeah, you
So just go ahead and tell me about the debate proposition, so I can eat crow and then call you a hypocrite at the end.
eat
That's how it
crow.
works.
What are you saying? Eat crow.
That means like you have to concede.
Right. Okay. So you
I'll
said,
concede. I'll concede if you're humble enough to concede.
what concession would I make, sorry?
No, no, no. Okay, so what was the second part of it? Because you know you're not gonna win me in the first part, though. So
Right.
what's
So
the second
okay.
part?
So what
What
I'm
was it?
talking, right, hang on.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, I cut
It's
you
all
off.
right. It's all right.
I
Okay.
apologize for cut you off.
That
My
is
bad.
fine. That is fine. Now, I'm saying, because you've asked me, oh, are you just going to ask me for evidence? And I said, yes, because you're making claims. You denied making claims. If you want, I'll repeat your claims back to you. Okay. And then you said, oh, the burden of proof is on you. And I've said, no, it's on you because these are your propositions. And your propositions, I mean, this isn't really a properly formed proposition, I'd argue, but you said my debate proposition is about how animal sanctuaries is a waste of human resources.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the last one is the oldest people on Earth are mostly meat eaters and a few vegetarians, not a single vegan. But you haven't made a conclusion
Yep.
from that. And then you made a claim. So you made the claim in my chat that being vegan would lead to famine. So you've made a claim. So again, that's your claim. You know when you make this proposition, when you make these
Okay, well,
claims,
okay, I'll
the
eat crow. I'll eat crow, and I'll fully apologize because there's just my hypothesis, just based on how like talent and agriculture works. So I don't have any evidence of that.
right.
So I'll submit to it, and I'll eat crow, and I'll concede
Okay.
to that
Well, as
point.
much as I appreciate that, the problem is, Garuda, we've had now, this would be our third discussion, yeah? And you've
Hmm.
said things in those previously, and you just carry on saying them anyway. Even though when I sit here and I'm like, okay, what's the evidence for that? You can't give it. So why do you just carry on with it? I just don't understand.
So which one are you talking about though?
Well,
Which
I'm pretty
debate
sure,
proposition?
yeah, in the last debate, you were talking about how you need to have the flesh of animals, and you're still on it. You're still saying we need the flesh of animals, but you have
Okay,
no.
okay. I'll concede that I didn't know what I was talking about, but I apologize for that fully.
So
Okay,
we can get a concession that you now believe that
I concede.
we
I concede
don't
to
need
that.
the, so just so we know what you're conceding to. You don't believe that we require the flesh of animals to be healthy, to live extended lifespans. You don't believe that.
I don't believe that.
Thank you.
So I don't concede anymore because yeah, you just remember I don't believe in that.
Okay. Is that sarcasm or are you being serious with me?
I mean 100% serious, you, my darling.
So when it comes down to it, am I ever going to see you making that claim again?
When it comes to saturated fat and heme iron, I will always make that claim.
So what in what sense? So you will say, okay, we need meat because of the saturated fat and the heme iron?
Yes,
Okay, so you do believe that we require the flesh of animals.
I wouldn't say everyone needs, but there's certain people that do.
Okay.
So that's kind of like a vague question.
So do you have any data demonstrating that that certain people require the flesh of animals for the saturated fat and the heme iron?
It's up to what the scientists say and what the people who pretend to be nutritionists say. So I'm like as vague as you in this topic.
No,
But when it comes to the oldest, look,
sorry, that's not what I asked. I asked, do you have any evidence? So do you have any literature that's demonstrating that we require that?
Yeah, I have names of the oldest people who ever lived, and they weren't vegan. So you want
Garuda,
me to give you another person's thing?
Garuda, we've just, I got a concession on you that wasn't good enough. So
Okay, so
what?
let me
So
ask you a
now
question.
we're
Now.
going
Okay,
to have
so
no more
okay,
mention of the oldest living people.
I'll eat crow on that. I'll eat crow on
Yeah.
that because I have no actual. Because you did talk to me about like peer review evidence, right?
Okay. So far, so you're saying now that you don't actually believe that we require the flesh of animals for the
I didn't
heme
say
for
that.
the saturated fat.
I didn't say that.
So do you still believe that then?
Based on the peer review evidence I have, the longest living people are not vegans. They're either
Garuda. We just had. What did I just say? We're not mentioning that anymore because you conceded that wasn't substantial enough. You said
okay, but your
you'll eat crow
peer
on that.
review
Why?
evidence is not even remotely close to actual proof, rather than your opinion. Because you know what? Let's okay. So fine, I'll eat crow on that one, right? I'll
No,
give you that
no, no. The
because I
thing
have no
is, you
evidence,
keep
just like you have
saying
no
that.
evidence. Okay.
You keep saying that. Then you go back to it. So
Okay, I'll let it go though.
okay. Let's just seal this. No more talking or referring to the oldest living people on the planet. Okay? Because
I accept it.
you accept it. Okay? Because if I hear it again, I'm gonna lose
Yeah.
my shit. Okay? I can't. Like you've already said. Okay? But never mind that you can get
I
that
apologize.
that's fine. We've got sources of heme iron being put into certain burgers that are plant based. So we have plant based sources of heme iron now, and there's plant based sources of saturated fat as well. No.
It depends because it's not the natural sources, so it's nothing more than lead-made chemicals that doesn't even affect the body the same way. This is what my belief is, though, and I cannot give you any proof because you probably won't even believe it if you wanted to.
So you're saying the plant based sources of saturated fat are natural? So,
No, coconut has saturated
yes,
fat though, but
exactly. So
some vegans say they'll stay away from coconut because of saturated fat.
okay, so now, so your claim, okay, that we need flesh because saturated fat and heme iron, even if that were to be the case, we have plant-based sources of those things, don't we?
Yeah, but I don't like coconut.
Oh, that's so what? Your claim isn't oh, you need to modify your claim, don't you? Because right now it's we need the flesh of animals because we need heme iron and saturated fat. Now I'll just pretend we need those things for now, okay? We'll just imagine that we need those
Okay, so
things.
let me ask you a question. When can I get here and married without eating an animal?
Huh?
Where can I get heme iron without eating an animal?
It's being put into like burgers and flesh meat
No.
substitutes.
Where can I get heme iron without eating an animal?
Like in certain burgers, they're putting heme iron in it. Or
No, but where can I
can't
get
you
the
get
heme iron though from the fake burgers though?
huh?
So you're talking about like the fake burger patties? Where can I get heme iron without from an animal?
I really don't know what you're asking me.
Okay, so how can I get heme iron without eating an animal liver?
What? Wait, so you think heme iron's only in animal livers?
I never said that. I'm asking no question. How do I get the heme iron?
No. Didn't you just say animal liver?
That's where I get my heme iron from.
Yeah. Is it elsewhere?
You told me. I asked a question two
So
times
so
or three times actually.
so is there heme iron in things other than animal livers?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out.
So you don't think it's in other animals?
No. Without eating an animal, where is heme iron can I get
They
from a
literally
plant?
okay. They literally put it in Impossible Burgers. I've just said in the plant based burgers right now. There's Impossible Burgers that have heme iron put into them. So I'm imagining there'll be heme iron placed in even more of these plant based products.
No,
But again,
I don't believe what you said. I
huh?
don't believe what you said because the fake meat is unhealthy.
So you don't believe there's heme iron in an Impossible Burger?
No, there's manipulated iron though. All it did was probably like manipulated a bunch of spinach, but it's not heme iron. It's just simply iron, and it doesn't. It's not heme iron.
So you're
There's only one
saying
place you can get heme iron though.
the Impossible Burger, right? When it says heme iron in the ingredients, it's not actually heme iron. You're saying,
Yes.
Where's your evidence for that?
Because there's only one way to get heme iron.
No. Did you repeat the question I just said?
Okay, so what's your oh, so can you hear me? Damn it.
Repeat.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, so yeah, this do you know where heme iron comes from?
No, repeat the question that I asked you, because it sounds
Okay,
like you went.
you said what is the evidence that proves that you don't believe that you could make heme iron from a lab? And I tell you there's
No,
no
no, no,
way to
no. Yeah, no, that
synthesize
wasn't
heme iron.
question. Yeah,
Uh, mhm.
so that wasn't
So yeah,
exact.
there's only one way to get heme iron, and it's not from a lab, it's from an animal.
What's the evidence for that?
Okay, bovine serum.
Yeah, bovine serum. What?
Bovine serum. Because there's only way to get heme iron is because from blood.
So you're saying the heme iron that's in Possible Burgers isn't heme iron?
It's not.
So hang on. So you're saying, like, with supplements and everything. Okay, so they have like vitamin A. You have like forms of vitamin B and everything like that. Because they were made in a lab, or they're not real.
No, it's real because humans made this Franken food though. But I could read you right now the ingredients in
Okay, so it might be the case.
impossible grains.
It might be the case that it's a Franken thing. It was made in a lab. But do you have any evidence that it's not actually what it says it is? That these things aren't even. They're not. It's not.
We could do it right now. We could do it right now though.
What are you searching right now?
How do they sin?
Yeah, Garuda, stop.
Exactly. You
Garuda,
don't want to look at it.
No. This is not something you should already know. This you've already just stop searching and just listen to the words I'm going to say. Okay, you keep making these claims, and then we figure out that you don't actually know whether or not that's the case. You have said it's not
real. The truth though, but you just denying it is the truth because a lot of vegans want us to eat cancerous lamb meat. And this is going to be the worst destruction.
No, Garuda, I want you to just stop eating animals. I don't give a shit whether or not you eat cultured flesh. I just want you to stop eating animals and their secretions. That's what I want.
So we have to divert from this conversation though, because of my point. Because you one thing about you, you're really strong. That's why I respect you. But why do you want me to stop eating animals? Am I not an animal or?
Oh yeah, let's get into this because this is where I like. Okay. Because we've been here before. Yeah, you are an animal. I'm an animal. So what's the morally significant difference between us and other animals that would justify slitting their throats but not ours?
Because I would literally off a bear, a dog, a freaking bobcat, or any creature because I consider you as a human being. So even if you want to consider us a human animal, I protect my own people because I already told you it's a death spiral. So I have more respect for you than anyone else, and I don't even give a fuck about your.
No. You're going up. No, Garuda, I need you to just stay on track, okay? So let's just look at the scenario that we're in, okay? We are farming animals. We aren't farming bears, are we? We're not. I don't know why you're talking about protecting humans. We're talking about farming animals, sending them to the slaughterhouse, and then having them, buying them from a shop. There's no bear involved here, so I don't know why you're talking about them. What is the
because all animals sir, I'm a human being and I'm not an animal, but all animals have value.
Yes.
So you're confused about what even they're trying to say.
I think you're confused about what you're trying to say because I don't think you're listening to me. Okay. I'm trying to ask you.
For you, but you just don't like what I'm saying, though. Because
I don't like what you're saying because it's not actually relevant to what you're being asked.
So ask the question again, though. Maybe
I'll do that. Okay. What is the morally significant difference? So there's something about all of these other animals. Okay, maybe they lack something, or there's something that they have that we don't have that means we can slit their throats, and that's absolutely justified morally. But it wouldn't be morally justified to do that to a human being. What is it?
The fact is that they cannot consent to human beings' ideology of being protected underneath the human ideology.
I would
love a vegan to go say that to a shark and see how long a vegan will survive with a shark. But
So
the
what
thing
you're
is, like,
talking
because
about, you're talking about social contract, right? So you're saying, oh,
no, no,
because
yes,
yeah, okay,
social
okay.
contract,
So
yeah.
you're saying every single human being we can talk to and get them to understand the social contract. So babies, people with certain conditions where they can't even communicate with other humans, all these people, they actually can somehow actually do that.
No, because I don't believe in abortion. Though, are you a supporter of abortion? Because like the moment a human
Right,
being, a
respectfully,
male
no,
human being,
Garuda,
and a female,
respect,
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
let
no,
me
no, no,
finish.
no,
Let me answer your
respectfully, no, no,
question.
no, 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 Garuda, respectfully, what the fuck are you talking about? That's got absolutely nothing to do with what I just said.
So can you answer the question again so I can
Yes,
answer it
yes.
more
Right now,
accurate, please?
please, please, Garuda, just listen, okay? Do you want me to go slower or?
Well, just what is your question though? Because I try to explain to you.
Okay. So
So can you
you right, yeah.
re-ask the question?
I'll do it. I'll do it a bit slower. Okay. I'm gonna lay it out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm a dum dum, by the way.
You're a dum dum.
Apparently.
Did you say?
Wait, would you say what Helen? What would you say? Like
A ding
how
dong.
you
You're
call
a
somebody
ding dong.
stupid?
Yeah, you are a ding
A
dong.
ding dong?
Yeah, you are a ding
Okay,
dong.
I love
Okay.
that word
Yeah,
though.
you're being a
Okay.
ding dong. Okay. Right, listen to me. Okay.
I'm
So
trying not to be though.
I know. I can see you trying very hard. We're just gonna. So we'll go slow. Okay. So
Okay, thank you.
you are saying to me the morally significant difference between humans and other animals is that other animals, they can't engage in this kind of social contract. They can't talk about laws, culture, like social norms, all those things that humans engage in, right? But
Yeah,
the thing
yeah.
is, humans aren't on the same like ability level. Okay, some humans will never be able to have that communication skill. They'll never be able to conceptualize or understand social contracts. So there's going to be humans who lack that as well. But you wouldn't say, would you, that they're of low value and we can kill them and farm them? You wouldn't, would you?
Never.
No. So there's a contradiction.
How? Explain it to me,
Yeah, of
please.
course. Because what you're saying, so would it be better if I put my camera on so I can just paint a picture for you?
Well, I'm on my phone. You could
Okay.
always put the camera on. I always follow you, so I already know what you
Okay.
look
All
like.
right. All right. All right then. Okay. So just imagine, okay? So you have this being in a room, okay? And you're trying to work out whether or not to value them and not stab them. Okay? And you're saying, okay, well, as long as they can actually talk to me and understand the social contract, then no, I won't stab them. That's what you're saying, because you're saying that for animals. But then you've got this category of human. You're saying, oh yeah, they can do that. But not all humans can do that. But even the humans who can't do that, you would be not wanting to stab them. So that's a contradiction, because you're saying, oh, I would stab these ones because they cannot engage in social contract, but I won't stab these ones because they can't engage in the social contract. So you both can and cannot stab these individuals because they can't engage in the social contract.
I don't know why you're so possessed with the word stab, but I understand what you're saying. But the thing is, you have to understand, I don't need to stab an animal to kill it. The thing is, I'm a human being. But however, though, I grant what you just said, because I'll be 100% honest with you. I only protect human beings first because I don't want human beings to hate each other. But however, though, I believe in animal welfare. But the only difference is because you going on a lane of talking about animal liberation will never work, because the precious chickens, turkeys, fish, and other animals you say pretend to try and save eats meat. So you're in a contradiction, but you're trying to brainwash me into a contradiction. But
Wait,
however, though,
hang on.
no, 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 can I finish?
No, no, no,
I let
no,
you speak.
because
Can I finish?
no. If you
It's
hold
only
that,
gonna take.
no, hold that thought, because it sounds like you're going somewhere else. Okay, so you're. Is it the case that it is a contradiction to claim that it would be both morally wrong and morally acceptable to stab someone because they can't engage in the social contract?
No, no. You need to buy a dictionary because only someone is a human being. Animals are not someone. They're
Okay, let
individuals,
me,
and I
right,
already told you
just,
this a long time ago.
right. Everything I just asked you, instead of the someone, an
So
animal.
no,
No,
no.
right. Is it a contradiction to say that it would both be wrong and absolutely morally acceptable to stab an individual animal if they cannot engage in the social contract. Is that a contradiction? Yes or no?
It wouldn't be a contradiction, but it's something that it should be important as human beings because vegans are very passionate about like issues just like Buddhists. So I would definitely take the case, but I'm saying that without animal welfare, you will be far away from a human being trying to eat meat for, kill an animal for food. Because even most vegans I've talked to, they would admit that, like, if you're in a survival situation, they would just say like, "Oh, I'll kill an animal to eat it," and just like, "Aren't you vegan? Like, won't you die to not kill an animal?" So veganism is a contradiction. That's what I'm trying to explain to
Yeah,
you.
right.
So nothing I said is a contradiction.
What is a contradiction?
A contradiction is when you're going out of your morals and you contradict yourself, but blaspheming yourself. So basically, a vegan says like, "Oh yeah, I could eat." A contradiction is like, "Oh yeah, I would not eat an animal, but in a survival situation, I will eat an animal because I'm a hypocrite." That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's nothing wrong with eating meat, and vegans want to do that. But however, though, I've been learning to cook vegan food, and I don't hate vegans. I'm not anti-vegan. I love vegans because I love Hindus. No, the what I'm trying to tell you is veganism is nothing more than a goofy version of Hinduism, and vegans don't
All right,
understand
Garuda,
that
you
because
are
it's a
now. I'm going to stop
religion.
you rambling, okay, just for a second. So, no, a
Like,
contradiction is it's proposition and it's negation. So basically, it's like, oh, well, in logic, it's P and not P, right? So if I say, I don't know, it is bad to eat grapes. It is good to eat grapes. That's a contradiction, yes?
I don't eat grapes because they give me
Garuda,
great
that's
body.
not what
But
the fuck you.
no, no,
No,
okay.
Garuda,
So say
that's
that again because I probably didn't understand. Say it
right.
again.
It's an
I'll ask you yes
example.
or no.
It's an example. I'm not asking you about whether you eat grapes. Is it a contradiction to say it is both good and bad to eat grapes?
No.
Then you don't know what a contradiction is. What?
No, because I don't think eating grapes is bad or evil.
That's not
Or
Garuda.
I don't think eating grapes is good or evil.
Garuda, that's
Grapes is a fruit,
Garuda.
and grapes is not
Garuda.
living.
Oh my, no, listen. You're not.
Can I explain
No,
to
no,
you
no, no, no,
real
no, no,
quick?
no, no. You cannot,
No,
right? I need, stop. I'm
no.
not.
At least give me 1 minute.
No,
You
no,
can
no,
tell
no, no. I
me.
can't because I just cannot believe this right now. You're not being asked about whether or not you think it's bad to eat grapes. I'm giving an example of something. Completely ignore, like, what you think about it. I'm just asking if it's a contradiction to say this. It is
No,
both. No, no, no.
because grapes need to be eaten so they could spread out the grape tree. So it's good to eat
Right, Gruda,
grapes. Is
Gruda.
that fruit?
I think you're
So I
trolling
don't
me.
understand your
No, no,
question.
no.
Can you explain the question a little bit more in depth? Because I don't understand it.
you are trolling, aren't you? You're taking the piss, aren't you?
No,
You are
I,
absolutely
I, I,
fucking taking the piss, aren't
I
you?
love fruits. Fruits is one of the most eco-friendly thing that you can eat once it's not like once it's local and not like across the country.
You
So
can't. No, no, no,
grapes.
no, no. You can't like miss the point this much and still be sentient. Like you
No,
must
can
be
you ask me
trolling.
again though? Because maybe I understand. Maybe I misunderstood. Can you ask me
Right,
again,
I'll give
please?
you something else, okay? And if you do not track this, I cannot have this conversation any further because it feels cruel to even have this conversation if you don't understand this, okay?
You can never be cruel to
It
me
is,
because I love
okay,
you.
don't want to know. It is both good and bad to like the colour blue. How about that? Is that a contradiction? Yes or no?
I don't know. I love the color blue, so I'm not gonna judge someone
All
who
right,
doesn't like the color blue.
I think I'm done with you. This is actually beyond, like, you are either trolling
I don't
me.
think it's evil to like the color blue. That's what you was
Okay,
asking.
that's good for you. Right, I can't continue. I like, I can't. That's either dishonest engaging or the brain is just not functioning. And I can't eat. What am I supposed to do?